Peace and power, family. We're back with Unto Be with B, quotes to live by, talking about all about love. And we're on chapter 6, values, living by a love ethic. And last video was around spirituality and how spirituality and divinity and love is all really connected. So I really appreciate how she goes from being like, love is the reason, and then into how can we fucking live through love? How can we live by love? So the first quote that I want to start with is literally the first sentence of the chapter, and it says, awakening to love can happen only as we let go of our obsession with power and domination, right? And I think that this is a beautiful way to start this chapter because it names right off the bat that craving for power, that craving to dominate, all of that is anti-love. It is not in the same basket, right? To have power over somebody, to dominate over somebody, that's not love. That's control. That is not love, right? So I really appreciate her naming it right off the bat, making it plain and clear. Okay, the next quote says, a love ethic presupposes that everyone has the right to be free, to live fully and well. And I think I love this quote so much because as an abolitionist or a on the road to being an abolitionist, I really believe that everybody deserves to be free, right? And it's a big debate. Like, what about the rapists? What about the murderers? What about the killers? All of that. I'm just like, jails, prisons, all of that, it is not useful. It's not helpful. It's not doing what it was told that it was going to be doing. It's doing what it was created to do. We can talk about that in another video, but it's not doing what it's supposed to be doing, right? It's not rehabilitating people. So we have to do something different, right? We have to do something new. There are other ways that we can repair harm than jails. So I really do believe that I'm moving towards the reality and the belief that everybody deserves to be free. When I think about, even like white supremacists, even those people, that, just perpetuate harm towards black folks. Like, do I really believe they deserve to be free? And yes, I do. Because if they had the freedom and to live their life and be who they wanted to be and live in their authenticity, for real, they wouldn't be worried about my black ass, okay? They wouldn't be worried about me, right? If we all had the real power to be free and be ourselves, we wouldn't have as much harm and as much violence. I truly and honestly believe that. So, again, this quote, a love ethic presupposes that everyone has the right to be free, to live fully and well. I absolutely believe in that. And I think that once you have that in your mind and you kind of try to operate in the world in that way, it becomes easier to live with a love ethic. The next quote that I want to read says, we make choices based on a belief that honesty, openness, and personal integrity need to be expressed in public and private decisions, right? And I think this one really stands out to me because it's very easy for us to be honest and real in private, right? With ourselves, when we're talking to family and people that we trust and believe in and all that stuff. But when you in the public eye around people who you don't really know, and our world is set up to judge, right? You don't really want to be honest and open and vulnerable. And I think that the way that we make the changes that we really want to see is by living that shit all the time, no matter what, no matter who's watching, no matter where you at, right? We have to live in our truths all the time. If you fucking sad, you can't just put on a happy face every day. That is denying yourself the freedom to be who you are and be authentic in yourself, right? So I think that we have to change our culture and be able to accept people as they are and let them live fully, just like the last quote said. And the way that we do this is by modeling this openness, this honesty, and this personal integrity, not only in private, but also in public. Okay. The next quote It's like a two-piece quote. It's coming from two different sections, but I think it goes so well together. It says, refusal to stand up for what you believe in weakens individual morality and ethics as well as those of the culture. Right? So refusal to stand up for what you believe in not only weakens you, but it also weakens everybody around you, because they're like, oh damn, I believe in that, but they're not standing up for it, so I ain't gonna do it, right? And the little hashtag, or like the add on to that, is that you have to be willing to live the truth of their values, right? And this goes back to that last quote around being able to be open and honest in public and private, right? You have to be able to stand up for what you believe in. You have to be willing to live the truth of your values, right? In order for us to really make the change you want to see in the world and to experience things we actually want to experience, right? If you're not feeling good and you want somebody to give you a hug, you putting on a happy face, that's not going to make people know that you need a hug. It's not going to invite the energy that you want to receive, right? People are going to treat you like you're strong and you fine, because you walk around acting like you're strong and you fine. So I really, really appreciate that quote. The next one says, fear of radical changes leads many citizens of our nation to betray their minds and hearts. Whew. Fear. Okay? Fear. I feel like fear is the opposite of love. I don't know. I'm not gonna, don't quote me. But like, I feel like fear definitely gets in the way of authenticity and just like love and joy and peace. And I think that change is so scary because we get so used to what we know, so comfortable, and comfort feels good sometimes, that fear just makes us unwilling to move. It keeps us stuck, right? We don't want, like, it's like, do you really want to go from poor to rich? Right? Because being a rich person is completely different from being a poor person. And it's like the radical changes that you have to make in your life, do you even really want to do that? Right? That's just one example of how the difference between where you are now and where we have to be is so drastic, right? That it creates fear. It's so much unknown and we don't know what to do. So the first thing that we do is betray ourselves. We put on the face like, oh no, I'm in control. I am not scared. I know what's going on here. And it's like, no, fam, this shit is changing. We don't know what to expect, right? And we confused and a little worried. Okay? And saying that, being that, walking in that, right, is how we live in our truth and how we live in our love ethic, right? That's how we love ourselves, by honoring what we truly feel and what we're truly experiencing. That's how we love others, by doing the same for them. The next quote, sorry, I'm calm, says, fear is the primary force upholding structures of domination. Oh, we just talked about this, okay? Like, fear is the opposite of love. How love is only possible without power and domination. Fear is the primary force upholding structures of domination. I was watching somebody live, Rebel Flower, I love her, this morning, and she was like, fam, they is trying to use fear to control us. Like, they are fear mongering, right? They're using fear tactics to control us. And it's real. It's what's really happening. And it's how they keep us doing all these things. It's how they keep us ignoring our nervous system. It's how they keep us lying to the public about what we really feel, right? It's domination. Domination. They want us under their control. So the easiest way to do that, the only thing that can go up against that love ethic, is fear. And a little piggyback off of that, it says, when we are taught that safety lies always with sameness, then difference of any kind will appear as a threat. Okay? So this even goes back to the comfort comment that I was talking about earlier. You want to be rich, you want to live this completely different lifestyle, but it's different. It's not the same. So we've been taught that the same thing, things that we're used to, is good, and things that are different are bad. So you're going to fight against yourself. You're going to push against those things that you really want and go against your values, your mind, and your heart, because it's different. And that's it. It's not wrong. It's not bad. It's just different. Right? So I really, really, really appreciate that quote, how difference appears as a threat because we've been taught that safety is sane. It's false. It's not real. It's not real. The next quote, with a little piggyback, says, the choice to love is a choice to connect, to find ourselves in the other. And the piggyback goes, faith enables us to move past fear, right? And the reason why I like these quotes together, even though they're in different sections, is because that connection, in order to connect, we have to have faith. We have to trust that the next motherfucker is trying to live and be free just like we is. They're not really trying to control us and have power over us and dominate us. They're just trying to have their own freedom and their own well-being and happy life. Right? That's all they worried about. They're not worried about us. And I like to believe that we can connect, right? And we can love people who are different and who even hate us, because we can have that faith, right? That it ain't about me. Whatever they got going on ain't about me. It's about them, right? And if they get all of their needs met, and they deserve to have all of their needs met, because we all deserve to have all of our needs met, then we will be fine and it won't be no beef. Like, I honestly and truly believe that. And I think that is the last quote. It's so many other good quotes in here, but I don't be trying to be on here for long. I really, really, really recommend y'all just go and read this book. We got a couple more chapters left. I think it's let me see. Yeah, 13 chapters left in the book. So we got about 7 more videos where I'll be throwing in some of the best quotes out of the chapters. But what I'm trying to tell y'all is this is the guide, but this is it. All right. I love y'all. See y'all next time.